Hey, good folks. All right, so I'm going live for a little bit to finish up my KnowMe2069. My name is Alethea, and I started this last month with our June sew along, and so I'm going to go ahead and get into it and finish up. All right, so I left off last time with me sewing up, I guess, the front pieces and the back pieces. And if you didn't join me on the last video, you can actually go back and check out the video so you can see what's going on there. But I haven't gotten that much further since the last video. Actually, I haven't sewn anything else on it since the last video. So I won't spend too much time before you tonight, maybe about an hour, and I'm going to try to stick to that. Hey, Miss Wanda, how art thou? I'm going to try to stick to it, to that hour. But I left off in the last video where I did the front, sewed all the front seams and the back seams. So I had to go out and get interfacing. Well, I thought I had to get interfacing, but I ended up having interfacing. So I didn't, but anyway, I cut out all interfacing pieces. I'm going to focus on the top right now. So, yeah, so that's where I am. So if you're just joining in, you saw the heading. I'm going to be working on finishing up KnowMe2069. This was our project for So Much Talent for the month of June. So if you've seen the heading, it's been extended. So if you started on it, haven't finished like me, here's your opportunity to finish it. You need to work on yours too. Well, go ahead, girl, pull it out. And we're just going to spend time just getting it done, getting it completed. So I'm excited because today I actually spent time in the fabric store choosing buttons for this project. So I had some of the ladies over on Instagram to help me out, and I don't even know what I did with the buttons. But if you're on Instagram, you can find, oh, here they are. I was going to say you can see the buttons there, but hopefully I get to show you those. And I'm excited about them. All right, so I don't know how well you can see this. You might be able to see it better here. So I don't know if you can see it better there. If the lighting may not be that great. So I hope my second screen is okay and you can see what I'm doing there. But if not, this is the button. I know it's bigger, so before you say anything, this pattern calls for 5/8 inch buttons, 10 of them. All right, 4 of them, well, 2 are on the pockets up at the top, and then the other 2 are on the cuffs. There's a small one there. So technically, that's what, 5 buttons down the front. All right, so my buttons are inch, but I'm going to make the holes a little bit bigger, and I'm going to space them out a little bit further. So, but anyway, I decided to use these buttons that go with this fabric because it's a soft yellow. I just wanted a nice, I meant to get the fabric. I just wanted a nice little contrast. And then for the smaller, obviously I can't put big 1-inch buttons at the cuff. Well, I could if I wanted to, right? Because I'm making it. But I have, with the recommendation of one of the ladies I was watching earlier, she said, why don't you use these for the buttons, for the cuffs, and for the pockets. So which these are, I forget what you call them. They look like seashells, but they're not. What do you call these buttons? Anyway, there's a few in here that look like there could be wood buttons that will pair well with this one. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. So without further ado, because I can spend a lot of time talking about this stuff and not sewing. So I want to go ahead and get into the sewing of it, so I won't spend a whole lot of time here. I'm going to put my buttons aside, and I hope you all will join me in sewing tonight. Now, what I do want to do, I didn't set up my serger, so I'm going to go ahead and set my stitches up for that, or set my thread up for that, which I should have did that beforehand. But I've been sewing in black and blue, I'm going to go ahead and change that up and get prepped. So while I'm doing that, y'all let me know, Miss Wanda, have you cut out yours yet? Have you started on it? Inquiring minds want to know. If not, don't feel bad. Now, one of the things that I was trying to decide whether to do all white or a combination of white and yellow. I do have a cream, like an ivory, that will probably work better than the white or the yellow. So I may do that if the thread is not too heavy. So let me go grab that. The ivory will probably work better for a seam, for surgeon the seams. So let me see if I could actually get to that. Okay, so this might be challenging. So I'm just gonna go for this because I can't get to that, and I should have did this beforehand. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go with the white. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. So actually I have a cream. I have two creams right here. All right, so I'm gonna use those on my bottom loopers, my lower loopers. And then I may use the whites on the upper loopers. Because I think the yellow is gonna be too yellow and it's gonna show through. I don't have my earbuds on tonight. Can you hear me okay? You started sewing on the right side? Okay. Well, I can't wait to see. I don't know, did you show your fabric that you're using? Ah, Wanda, did you see my YouTube video where I shared the duster that I finished from the fabric that you gave me? I can't wait for you to see it. I may take a little pause break so you can see that. Yeah, so I've got to put the needle back in here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a 3-thread. I'm going to use a 3-thread instead and just move my needle over. All right, you say you missed it? Okay, I have to show it to you. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I can't wait till you see it. Okay. All right, so okay. I can have the needle up all the way. Just came over to my studio so I can start sewing. Okay, good. So hopefully you'll be sewing along. I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see what you're doing. So I finally kind of figured this out still. this whole setup, and it was funny trying to figure out how this thread go through the channel. All right, this is going good. When it all boiled down to it, I was fussing because this was so much different than my machine, my Juki. I think I was just spoiled. Something happened. All right, something. All right, something's going on. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, y'all. I don't need this to. Let's do this right now. Some kind of way my thread got tangled up. I don't know how that happened. Just when I was getting ready to speak good of it. Just when I was about to speak good of this machine. All of the thread came out. No. Okay, so the good thing about it is I can't believe this is happening now, y'all. See, if this was my Juki, this wouldn't be happening. Yeah, if this was my Juki, this wouldn't be happening. I'm gonna stick to that story. All right, so the green. All right, it's going straight to this part right here. That's simple enough. That's one of the things I hate doing is threading the bottom of the serger. But one thing I can say, they made it easy. I need my tweezers. I don't have my tweezers there. All right, so now, what did I just do with it? All right, let's see. So I want to do this where it won't twist up my thread. Goodness, y'all. As somebody who sews and likes working with fabric and stuff, I hate springy things. Something's not working right. Okay, so I'm about to say no to the server. Just a second. And then just get on with the song. Why does there always have to be some kind of complication? Let's see. Okay, so I think I got it. I don't have to throw it out. Okay, I think I got it. All right, you say your fabric is khaki twill? Okay. All right, so I had to do the serger first because I need to serge at least the front parts because I got to put when I sew the pockets, I've got to sew the pockets on. So I want to go ahead and stitch this down, and that's just on the front. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to press them open? I don't want to do open. Tell you why, because I don't know that I'm going to line this. So I'm just going to stitch it. I know, right? It was going to give me a fit. All right, so let me go ahead and serge this, and I'm just going to do it to one side. And I need to do it to one side because when I put that pocket on, that needs to be finished, that seam allowance. All right, so I'm just going to do that for right now. All right. I'm still saving my threads. So I have another bag started with saving my thread. You're not lining yours either? Yeah. So what I've done was, I don't know if you can see it here. Well, not that piece. All right, so let me find where I stitched it. Okay, so you can see where I've serged close to the seam. So that way, when you do see it, you won't have that big, wide, bulky seam showing through the fabric. So you can see that. All right, so let me go ahead and You know what? I might as well do the back too, because I've got to put the yoke on the back. So I might as well go ahead and do that as well. So bear with me. It's just 4 seams. And now I'm making this on a prayer, on a wing and a prayer because this is a size 16. I probably should be cutting out an 18. But I got a feeling a lot of times when I make this stuff, even though I do my measurements and everything, it comes out a little bit bigger because the pattern company and the designer of the pattern has their own ease allowance in there. All right, so I got the backs and the fronts, the back and the front pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and press those, and I'm assuming that the front pieces, each section is pressed towards the center. That's how you normally do it. So let me just make sure, like one is not pressed one way and one's pressed the other. Let me see what the recommendations are. But we know how we normally do, press our seams towards the center, right? All right, so it just says press seams on one side. And according to this, the seams look like they're pressed towards, pressed towards the center. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, so give me a second, and I'm gonna press mine using my gravity feed iron because it's quicker. Press the seams flat first, and then press them to one side. I'm using my hand to help me press around the curves too. Now, I don't know what here's my blocker. I gotta use my blocker. Sorry, y'all can't see this part of it, but y'all bear with me. So for sake of time, I'm just gonna press out the top parts where I gotta sew the seams on, and I'll get to the rest of it later. I don't know that I'm going to, I don't know that I'm going to top stitch mine. I haven't decided yet. All right, almost done. Okay. All right. Hey, Miss Gloria, how are you? All right. So I did press all the way down just for sake of time. I only pressed like right at the top edge right there so that I can get my pieces on. So I've got to get the upper yoke, the front yoke, and the back yokes on. So for sake of time, I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to go ahead and sew my flaps together, the front flaps. Okay, so that's piece, if you're sewing along, that's piece 7. Okay, now again, this is not technically a sew along because Lynn has a sew along for this pattern. We're just sewing together. How about that? This is a sew together for those that might be sewing with me. Or if you have any questions, this is a good time to ask questions. If you are sewing and you get stuck on something. I did interface one side of this. All right, so I've got the, when I sew this up, I'm gonna sew with the non-interface side down. You're gonna top stitch your seams. You will top stitch. You said you're doing a khaki, right? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It might look better. It might lend a little bit of character to it. You know, this is a suiting type fabric, so that was the only reason why I kind of question it. All right, so I'm going to stitch with the non-interface side down because the interface side is more stable than this side. And so even though it all matches up, I just want to make sure it stays that way. So it looks like we're sewing 1/2 inch seam allowance. I don't even have my thread in. Duh. There you go. I think did I use a white or cream? Okay, I'm gonna use a white. It's okay. Gloria, have you made this pattern yet? Have you done the KnowMe2069? That's this pattern right here. It's our June sew along pattern. I know it's July, but we're doing an extension. All right. That's not in your size. Is this one? Y'all see my camera over here shaking because it's attached to the machine. All right, so this goes through, okay, it goes through a 26. So a lot of them, some of the KnowMe patterns go up a little bit higher than that. So I think like a 30 or something like that, which is good. I wonder if there's something similar out there. Yeah, if y'all don't mind, share this out. And I did share this out on Instagram, and I shared this out in our group. So thank y'all for joining in. And I'm gonna do one other thing. I don't know if it'll make any difference if I put my earbud in. Can y'all hear me okay? Can you all hear me okay? Okay. Did it make a difference with me putting the earbuds in or no? It did make a difference. Okay. Sometimes when I walk away from the machine, you might not be able to hear me because I don't have them on and I'm not close by. All right. I didn't want to be on here long. I know I say that a lot, but I really don't want to be on here past 8 o'clock. I'll try to minimize how long that I spend on these live videos. Minimize the time. Okay. All right. So I think I supposedly had changed my needle. I think I did. All right. So instead of probably, I've got two different seam cuts. So I don't know which is which. How far have you gotten into yours, Wanda? I think you said you stitched up the right side. Is that what you said? Okay, so I think this is. So I guess the regular stitching is 5/8 of an inch, unless they tell you. Okay, yeah, 5/8 of an inch. So this doesn't say. Okay, so I'm assuming it's a 5/8 of an inch. I don't know why my clippings are different, but I'm gonna go with the 5/8. Mm-hmm. Right, so I'm gonna go back and do something because what I did was kind of curved around that pocket. So I'm just gonna go straight across so it'll have more of a point to it. And flip that over so I can see what I did earlier. Like I said, I just did a curve so that it didn't make too much of a difference, but it probably will once I flip it. So I don't know if you can see that. You definitely can't see it on this side. I have to go back. So instead of just angling it off, I should have clipped it so I can see it, but I didn't. But I went ahead and just stitched right off that seam straight across and then stitch straight across here. So it'll go ahead and create that little slight subtle point there. You're serging and pressing against the right front, now working on the left front. All right, so I never thought to work in parts like that, like your right side, your left side. So did that include your pocket also? Your upper pocket and your yoke? So keeping as much excess of as much excess as I possibly can at that point. Now I may end up going ahead and here, let me use this. I think the last time I did this, it created a I'm going to use this. Last time I went right through it. First time. Hey, J Rock, tell me your first name. Thank you for catching me live. Not yet. Okay. So I think I may go ahead and top stitch because it's going to need it. Let me go ahead and do this other one, and then I'll go ahead and press those. I didn't want to bring my tabletop iron up here this time because it does take up a lot of space. So see how I'm going to stitch right on off. And here, I'm going to, actually, let me do it this way. I could do it that way, but so I can see, start at the edge. All right. Oh, it's Frenchie. Oh my goodness. So you got all kind of handles. How did you change from how did you get J Rock? I thought we did a stream, or maybe we did YouTube, but J Rock, I like that. How did you know that was Miriam? Or because she said it. She said hi, Miriam. It's Miriam. It's Frenchie. It's been a while, Frenchie. We miss you. There we go. Yep, we miss you, Frenchie. And I know you working on that doctorate. Okay, so again, clipping out some of that excess in there. So when I turn those corners, I know, miss you too. That's your homeschool handle, J Rock. Okay. Well, look, you got that out the way, huh? Your boys, you done got them through school, got them through college, right? Or did they graduate from high school? I think that's awesome. My daughter-in-law, she's starting she started her own homeschooling for kids. She's come out of the public school system, so she started her own school. It's called the chill factor. And it's a whole acronym for higher learning. So it's exciting to see her move into that. All right, so let me go ahead and press this and get that down, and then we'll come back and we'll finish. All right. Finding a little flap. Thankful for the flapper because it gets a nice, good press. Yeah, I think I am gonna top stitch on one. It's gonna look better. Make sure I press it just right. I don't want to see any of the seams come from the bottom. I've had this fabric in my stash for a long time, and I always knew I wanted to make a suit out of it, but I just wasn't sure what suit. So I said, why not just do it now? It's gonna come out and it's gonna look right or it won't, but at least I made something out of it. So speaking of fabric in the stash and fabric being in the stash for a long time, what's the oldest piece of fabric that you have in the stash? Inquiring minds want to know. I don't even know. Mine's probably about 20 years. Got to be about 20 years. So much of it is so old, I don't even know what's what. All right. The guys graduated with their associate degrees and are headed to complete their 4-year degrees. Oh, that is awesome. Yeah. One more left to homeschool. Oh, I didn't realize that. I don't know why I was thinking that all of them came out at the same time. I don't know. Are they triplets or twin? I think you had what, 2 or 3 of them to come out this year. I'm trying to keep up, Miriam. Trying to. All right, so I guess I can go ahead and serge the top of this, and then yeah, that's what I'll do, and then I'll top stitch. All right, so let me do that. Serge this. I gotta remember which side is the. That's the hard part. I was gonna go which side is the. Okay. Okay, remember. The interface side is more stable. Doesn't easily move. All right, so yeah, that's the interface side. You know what? I'm gonna put a little pin on the facing side. So I put the wrong side face up. Probably wouldn't really matter. Well, yeah, it would, because once it's pressed, it might matter. So yep, 3 came out, not triplets, separated by 12 months. Okay, they eat like triplets. I can imagine. All right, so let's see if is this top stitching or edge stitching. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to follow this thing. Y'all know I'm not one for following patterns, but when I'm before you all, I do. I try to follow. I try to do the right thing. My husband always say, "Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do." Okay, so my top stitch. All right, so there's a difference in top stitching and edge stitching. Edge stitching is probably about 1/8 of an inch or what? I mean, literally edge stitching. But top stitching is about 1/4 of an inch. So basically, it's just you with the edge of the presser foot up against the edge of the fabric, and you can't really see that. So, and I have my stitch. I have my stitch set to 3.0. Let me see if I could. See, I top stitched the wrong side. Supposed to be top stitching. It may not make a difference in how it looks. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna try to. I put that pin there so I can try to pivot right where I need to pivot. Okay. Okay. Sometimes the stitches show up different on the bottom than they do on the top, but I'm gonna do this on purpose. I'm gonna do it the right way. This one I top stitched with the facing on top. This is the facing. So I should have been top stitching from this side. So I'm gonna do it the right way and see if there's a difference. And then I'm going to make sure, put that pin there so I can pivot correctly. All right, I'm stopping, guessing at about 1/4 of an inch out to pivot and turn. Okay, so I'm moving my foot to just so far I don't see a big difference. I don't see a big difference, and I probably when I press it, it's not going to be that big of a difference. No. All right, so I don't know if you can't really see that big of a difference. All right, can y'all see that? Looks different in that camera. All right, so I'm gonna leave those. Actually, I'm gonna leave. I have safety pins. I don't want to get stuck. I have a safety pin to remind me what's the facing side. Safety pins will tell me that that's the bottom side. That's the part that go on the bottom. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll press. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll interface both sides, but this fabric is a little bit more stable and more solid. So I'm not going to do that because it'll make it really heavy. So let me go press the stitching down. Okay. All right, so I've got those down. Now I've got to, oh, you know what? I really didn't have to press this. I just thought about that. I'm so used to flipping this over stitch and flipping like that, but this is actually going to be in the seam allowance. So I really didn't have to serge that part. All right, so this is going to be placed pretty much over the seams. It's going to butt up right to there's a notch right here. So it's going to butt up to that notch. Okay, so all right, so let's make sure, because there's two seams right there. I want to make sure I'm laying this out right. It didn't miss. Because on this pattern, it looks like it goes over. I'm gonna look at the envelope too, but it looks like that pocket goes over the second seam. Well, where is it? Okay. All right, so yeah, there is, I don't know where that other notches, but it looks like it's placed over, it kind of overlaps the second seam. I can't tell, so I hope I'm placing that just right. But on the, it looks like on the pattern piece though, it looks like it's close to the notch. So I don't know if maybe I sewed the seam, maybe this pocket, the pocket wasn't supposed to be sewn 5/8 of an inch. But right here in the instructions, it doesn't say. Usually if it's to be stitched a shorter stitch, a seam allowance, it will say so. So have you come across that yet, Wanda? Because it might, that pocket, upper pocket may not need to be sewn a whole 5/8 of an inch. I'm gonna kind of try to evenly distribute that. All right, so let me look at these side by side and see what it looks like. So I want to make sure pockets don't look off. Yeah, so it looks like I'm going to be top stitching one because I've already started top stitching. So it looks like that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of it. All right, so is this the right pocket? Because this picture looks completely different. Like the pocket looks like it comes all the way over to this, to the edge. Am I doing the right one? Okay, so the pocket looks like this is the upper pocket, right? It says flat cut 4, and that is a 5/8 inch seam allowance. So I've got that stitched up right. But if you look at the guide sheet, I know, y'all, I'm so technical, and I look at it, I analyze everything like to the T. But okay, so I'm gonna show y'all this, and y'all tell me what y'all think. And I know it probably don't even matter, but okay. Let's see. All right, so see that picture right there? So it looks like the, see how it looks like? Can you see that placement of that pocket? Okay. It might be better to do it this way. Okay. Can y'all see it better in this camera or the other one? All right, see how close that picture, the pocket comes to that notch right here? See how close it comes to that notch? But then also see how close, oh shoot, I lost my bearings. I lost my bearings. Hang on. Okay. Pocket number 7, stitching between notches. Okay. And yeah, I believe that. But see how, okay, so that's better. See how that pocket comes really close to that under the edge of that front piece. So once the pieces are together, there's a straight edge. I'm trying to get my bearings. So that whole straight edge right there. Okay. So there's a little dip right there where the underarm, right there where the arm curves in. So see how close it looks like it's to that notch, and then see how close it looks like it's to the notch at the front piece. So I'm gonna show you on here because there's a big difference. There's a big space. Hey, Jacqueline, how art thou? All right. All right. So this is the piece. This is the shoot. Okay. So this is that whole actual piece right there, right? So that's the notch. That's that notch right there on one side. Okay. Well, no, actually, that's not that notch. Hang on. There's a notch right in here. Let me see if it's on the other one. I saw it, y'all. I saw it. Ain't crazy. Okay, so there we go. So there's the notch right here. Okay, see, there's that notch right there. And then there's the edge of this piece right here. Okay, so according to the picture, and I don't know, you wonder if you got your pattern piece out, you could probably see it better than me showing it. But it appears on the picture that this pocket covers that whole space. I mean, it looks like the pocket is laying. Let's see if I can get up. Oh, yeah, I hate my chair. Okay. All right. So it appears that the pocket is over the seams like it should be. However, it doesn't show this much space in between, if that makes sense. I know I might be talking crazy. Oh, let me look at this again. Yeah, according to this, it don't look like that much space in between the two. Let me see what it looks like on her jacket, on the actual pattern. Okay. All right. So on the actual jacket, it doesn't go over that much because it looks like it goes all the way over to here. But on the jacket, it's in the right place where I have it. Know what that was. All right. So, all right, I got this on now. I put those two pieces up. I'm just gonna go ahead and stitch this down. Yeah, this is why I can't sew nothing fast, because I analyze everything. Okay, let's go ahead and get the other one stitched on. Yeah, I took all that time just to sew on the pocket. That's terrible. All right, so I got them on. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is stitch on my front yoke. So I do have my yokes cut out. Stitch that in place. And this in place. All right. So let me base this on to make sure I have this placed in here right. I'm gonna turn my stitch width down to a 4. All right. Do I have that? Do I have this on the right way? That's gonna be stitched over like that. I don't know if that's the right way or not. Y'all, because I'm gonna tell y'all, I lost my piece. Oh, I got the pattern piece. Hang on. I lost this piece right here. I don't know what I did with it. So let me look at this to make sure that I have it stitched on the right way. Because the longer side goes. Okay, yeah, I got it on backwards. The longer side goes under the arm. Y'all, why you gonna tell me I'm gonna sew it on backwards? That's why I sew it on, baste it on, so that way if I am doing it wrong, be easy to take it loose. Y'all sit there and watch me do that whole thing backwards. Oh, y'all know I'm looking for my razor blade, right? Gotta get it off here fast. So I gotta put this on the other side. Okay, that even looks better. All right, that lays in there even better. Okay. All right. I'm still gonna base this in to make sure I got it in here just right. So I want no mistake. Okay. All right. So yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay. So that looks like that curves around the way it's supposed to curve. All right. This here looks like that. All right. So let's go get that other piece in. I can take those pins out now. The safety pins that I put up under the flaps, I can take those out now. Now that I have the flap in. I hope I didn't confuse nobody with my nonsense, but I'm just wanting to know. I'll go back in. Now that I have that in there right, I'll go ahead and adjust my stitch length back to 3.0. It's pretty thick right there, so this definitely gonna need some top stitching. What I would recommend is that when you do your, if you haven't already sewn your fusible interfacing in, omit putting the interfacing in the seam allowances because that'll help cut down on the thickness and the bulk of your fabric right in there. Yeah, so I would omit the interfacing right in there. So now before I forget, let me go back and stitch over that seam allowance. All right. So I've got that on. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my back yoke. I'll make sure I get that in. So I'm gonna add, because my fabric looks so similar, I am putting a pin. Just putting a pin so I know which is the wrong side. All right. Once I put this on, then I'm gonna hop off. Because I did not want to stay on too long. I want to make sure all this matches up. Anybody got big plans for the 4th? I plan to eat as much as I can, but not any big plans. I'll try to lay low here at the house. All right. Everybody that's made this said it's a easy sew, quick sew, and I know that easy is relative to how long you've been sewing and whether you're a beginner sewer or how confident you are in your sewing skill. Now, here's where I am trying to decide because my fabric is more on the weightier side. However, it is sheer, so I could wear it like a blouse, you know, or I could do it as a. What I'm trying to decide is if I'm going to do a yoke, line the yoke, or just stitch it, top stitch it, because it is a weightier fabric. I'm not planning on interfacing the rest of it. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do a yoke, if I'm going to line the yoke here. I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this. Like I said, after I stitched that on, I was going to be done, but I'm going to go ahead and sew the shoulders up on the yoke. If I do decide to do to sew the yokes on, I'm going to do the hot dog method or sandwich the lining in. That makes sense. But I'm kind of leaning towards not lining it because it's going to make it heavier. And I don't want it to be super heavy. Plus, I don't want this part, the yoke part of it, to be darker than the rest of the blouse, if that makes sense. I'm leaning towards not. I don't know if you're still on here, Wanda, but let me know what you plan on doing with yours. The yoke, the lining of the yoke will be perfect for a lightweight fabric. And maybe if I had a lighter weight fabric for the lining, for the lining of the yoke, that might be better. But lining it with the same fabric might be a little bit too heavy. I could get something lightweight to line with, especially if I want to close the seams up. But I may just, since we're top stitching it, I may just leave it unlined and just top stitch the yokes down in place. Just treat it kind of like a blouse. Okay. All right. So I don't know if you can see that. You do? Yeah. I'm leaning towards not lining it, that yoke part, and just top stitching it down because it's kind of like a crepe, a heavy crepe suiting. If that makes any sense whatsoever. And so it'd be perfectly okay without a lining. The pocket is pretty heavy. I probably could have done without interfacing the flaps to keep it soft, but it's okay. me go ahead and take those pins out. You did cut a lining for the yoke. Did you cut the same fabric or did you cut a lining fabric for your yoke? All right, so I know my top that I have on is a little bit. Okay, let me see how this is gonna work. Okay, so it's gonna be a 5/8" seam allowance. So this is pretty much gonna overlap like that. There's a facing that goes over. So we're gonna see if anything, this is gonna fit. This is a size, this is the 16, y'all. So I think this is gonna work. Hey, Miss A, how art thou? You did a thinner fabric. You know, somehow this don't seem right in here. But I think I have it laid in there right. The way it's sitting on me. Okay, the way she has her button is gonna be right here. Okay. Y'all know I'm looking. I'm looking to make sure I have it right. Hey, Miss A. So, okay. It looked like it's on there right. It just looked funny to me. So I'm gonna stop thinking hard about it, y'all. I promise. All right, so I'm gonna stop thinking hard about it, and I'll figure this part out right here. So, uh, now, do y'all want me to? Do y'all want me to go on, or are y'all good? Let me press this. Let me press these towards the shoulders. Let me press these up. Your twill has a slight stretch to it. Will be great for my pants. Oh yeah. So mine don't have my pants don't have stretch to it. So I'm gonna have to figure that part out because my hips ain't no 16 for sure. For sure. All right, let me press this and I'll be right back. Um, Time to close my blind. All right, so let me press this up. I'm pressing the seams flat first. I know you can't see that. And then I'll press them up. So press them in place and then I'm going to use my flat foot. All right. Oh, 10 years. Did I do that right? Oh, yeah. Get that right. I didn't do that right. Oh, that's what I did. You have to be careful because you got that seam right where the pocket is. And would it tricked me. I thought that was dope. Careful. But you need to press that upwards. So let me get the show first. I know y'all can't see nothing what I'm doing. I'm just a talk. So off screen, I'll go ahead and top stitch. I know you would top stitch or start your top stitch as you go along, but I want to go ahead and put this yoke in. So I'll just be careful with my top stitching that's close to the seam. And I'll go ahead and top stitch everything else in place. All right, so while I'm over here, I'm gonna go ahead and press the pocket seams up. I did not serve any of the edges yet, because like I said, just trying to decide if I'm going to line the yoke part. So we'll see. Either way, I'm going to need to trim down the seam allowance. Once it's done, I believe it's going to be nice. It's going to be pretty. And I think I'm going to be pleased with what I chose to use this fabric for. So y'all didn't answer my question. I don't think. I think the last time I was over here, I asked her what's the oldest piece of fabric that you had in your stash. Do you even know? Press this one more time. I like pressing my flat down. Okay. You still calculating? I did, Miss Gloria, and I'm getting ready to stop now. I'm getting ready to stop right now. Uh, let's see. Oh, Wanda says continue. Okay, I did ask the question if y'all want me to continue because I did say I want to stop. So thank you, Gloria. So do y'all want me to continue or do you want me to stop? Miss Wanda said keep going. Miss Wanda, I'm gonna keep going if you're sewing along with me. And y'all, I did put the link in the group. If anybody wanted to come on live with me, it's on StreamYard. It's no pressure. But if you wanted to, the link is up under this post in the group. All right, so y'all, it's looking good. I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I think I'm liking this more as more of a blouse than a. Excuse me, than a. Well, I guess this is a blouse more or less. Let me see how she labeled it. She just labeled it as top and pants. So I don't think that I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to use the facings for the yoke. I think I'm just going to serge it and top stitch it and just leave it as is like a blouse. But this weight of fabric, I think it's going to be too heavy for what I want. Even if I lined it, I still want to, because I'm not lining this part of it, I want all of it to be just as sheer as this part, as the body of it. Now, I know it's going to be different when it comes down to the facing. but the collar's going to have the face. And keep going. Okay. You still saw? Okay. All right. So I'll keep going. All right. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and serge out this, because I'm making up my mind, because I have a tendency to go back and forth. So I have decided that I am going to not line it. Your daughters are 35 and 36. So is that how is, you say I have a piece of scraps from my daughter's prom days? Oh, wow. And they're 35 and 36. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and serge all of the yolks and where I added the pocket on. It's pretty smooth right there. Y'all, I'm liking this. This gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. All right, so that was in my Tiffany Haddish board. It's gonna be nice. All right, so what I'm doing, I'm serging on the side that's folded up. I'm serging that side up. So that the top side of the serging, so I'll explain myself. So I press the seams up towards the yoke. And so the seams are pressing up. So what I did was stitched, like this side is pressed up. So I serged on this side. So the upper stitches are on the side that's pressed up, because the under stitches, even though the under stitches look good, the lower loop threads, they look just as good as the top. And it should be that way. But just to make sure, I serged with the side pressed upward, with the upper stitches on that side. So that's the one thing I like about this new serger, because the stitches on the other ones, I don't know if the timing was off, but the stitches weren't always the best on that one. I don't care what I did to her. I mean, I was being faithful to Miss Juki, or Mr. Juki, Miss Juki. Well, she Miss Juki, this Mr. Juki, this big boss right here. So they were husband and wife team. So I had to put her down. Anyway, she wasn't always faithful to me. Or maybe I just used it too much. She got a little old. But either way, her stitches weren't always coming out right. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch. And even though I'm using white top stitching, it still don't look bad. think I'm gonna use a maybe a 2.5 when I top stitch, so it'll bury deeper into the fabric. But the thread itself, the white, doesn't look bad. So Miriam says, "Wait, are you cooking tomorrow?" I am cooking tomorrow, Miriam. I am making the best ribs you ever had. Some mouth-watering ribs. I sure am. And probably do some potato salad. Uh, and I did buy me a piece of salmon, so I plan on doing some salmon too. I don't know where else going with that. If we just have potato salad, salmon, and ribs, I'm good. I'm good. Now my sister, she's gonna do pulled pork and baked beans. So I don't know what else. I don't know what else what we're gonna do. But yeah, are you cooking? Listen, I'm gonna get up in the morning and cook. I'll probably start in the morning and put the ribs on. I'm gonna slow cook them for probably about 3 hours. Uh, so if I don't slow cook them in the oven, I put them in the crock pot and let them cook for like about 4 hours. Then I'll take them out and put them in the oven and just let them get a little crispy with the sauce on it and everything. Yeah. Gloria says her oldest piece of fabric is 5 to 8 years old. Mine is probably about 20 years old, anywhere between, let's see, 16, about 18 years old, 18, 20 years old. At least 18, 20 years old. All right, so I'm going to stay stitch this neckline right here. About a 1/2 inch. Because I don't want that to stretch out of shape. So far, everything is looking good. All right, so I have a tendency to not look to see what the next course of action is on the pattern pieces. On the instructions, I just kind of wing it, but I'm gonna be good and I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. And I'm gonna put these aside because I've already decided I'm not doing the lining yokes. My fabric is like a medium weight. All right, put those pieces out of the way. Let me grab mine. So that's the collar. Did I interface? I didn't interface the collar. Y'all, shame on me. All right, so instead of doing that, I'm gonna top stitch because that's what I said I was gonna do until I got caught up. So let me top stitch. Okay, can y'all see that? Okay. Yeah, I hate the lighting isn't that great over here. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Although you can't see. Is that a little bit better? I see a little bit better, right? All right, so let me top stitch. So this reminds me of a leisure suit. I guess because when it's not done in denim. Y'all know what I'm sure y'all know what a leisure suit is. Who am I kidding? Y'all know. All right, so Miriam says, yeah, easy menu, hot dogs, burgers, deviled egg, potato salad, green beans. Not quite the fancy you, sis got girl, come on. But my husband, speaking of beans, my husband wants some green beans. He wants French style green beans. That's his favorite. So I forgot to mention that. Yeah, that's what his thing is. All right, y'all. Listen, this stitching is looking good. Okay, let me clip it so I get this to lay right. When I stitch, I like to stitch in continuum. That makes sense. Top stitching. So stitching close to the edge, quarter of an inch away from the edge. Going on back around to the front. This is looking good. Yeah, this is so good. It looks so good. All right, y'all. I'm starting to like this a whole lot. How long have I been sewing today? I've only been sewing when I got on here. I started sewing when I got on here. Yeah. Now I've been in my studio probably about an hour before that because I was cutting out pieces that I didn't have cut out. I'll say about an hour and a half. But no, I haven't been sewing long at all. Uh-oh. Yeah. And that top stitching. Yeah, this is an older notebook that I'm watching this from, so the lighting probably gonna be that great. That might be better. And I missed one. I missed one. Yep, I missed one. Look at that top stitching over there. Yeah. The top stitching looks good. So I missed one on the shoulder. Let me go back in. Anybody else sewing tonight besides Wanda? All right. It's looking good, y'all. I'm liking it. I'm actually glad I made the decision not to I'm glad I made the decision not to line it because I think it'd have been too heavy. You said you did some surgery and it came out pretty good. You were surprised. Hey, Erica, how art thou? All right, so it's looking good, y'all. So I may open this back up because you remember I added probably about an inch or so to the seam allowance on the side. That's probably why it fits so good. Because this is a 16 and I should have, according to the pattern, I should have had 18 up top. You say you did hear the question? Let me go back up. You said, I know what a leisure suit is, and yes, it feels like it too. Oh, okay. Oh, you say you didn't hear the question. What did I ask? Ooh, I did ask you a question, but I don't remember what it was. I think I asked, was anybody sewing besides you? That's what it was. Yeah, that's what I think I asked. All right, so let me see if I can get this. Let me try to press the interface onto the just real quick. Either that or do y'all want to wait till I press the interfacing on and I get that on the collar on? Because this collar doesn't have a collar band. If I'm mistaken, it's gonna be a really easy collar. Yeah, this collar doesn't have a collar band. So generally, y'all, I like to sew. I like both of my collar pieces, the upper collar and the lower under collar, to have it to be interfaced. Because I don't like the fact that, like, I never have on a collar where you got the one piece that's loose. If that makes sense, I don't like the feeling of the facing. I like the facing to be just as firm as the interface piece, the upper piece. So I like to interface both. And so I know it's going to make my collar feel a little bit stiffer, but that's okay. I did. I top stitched my flat pocket. You see that? Yeah, I did top stitch it, and it came out pretty good. I like it. I'm happy with how it's coming out. Are you going to look at sisters? All right. So I'm going to, how about I do this? I'm going to stop right here because I didn't want to be on here too late. So I think I got a good little bit accomplished. I did get the yoke on. I top stitched it. I got the pockets on. So next time I come in, or I'm going to go ahead and let me ask, do anybody have any questions about the collar? Because it should be a fairly easy collar because there's no collar stand or anything like that. But I'm going to go ahead. But I will say this, if you do have questions about the collar or get stuck on it, you can always go to Lynn's, her YouTube. I mean, she has a YouTube here. And so she actually does a sew along. So you can click on this and go straight to her sew along and find out whatever you need to know. But I didn't want to be on here long, so I did want to go and spend some time with my hubby. And so I'm gonna go ahead and stop. There is the facing. So the next thing to do is to do the collar. And like I said, probably more than likely. So let me show you what I was talking about the facing and the interface, the collar part. You can kind of see it on here. So see how stable that is? That's the interface side. But see how loose? That's the facing side of the pocket. So I like I like both pieces, the interfacing and the facing, to be stable, just like that. I don't like it to have it a give. I like it to do that. To me, that just feels funny. Don't feel right. Even though you might not be able to see it, I just have in my head that on that collar piece, it could just slouch at any time, like it could just hang. It may not hang, but so I just want to make sure. But see, like right here, I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know if you can see that. I can kind of see a bubble. You don't see that? Anyway, you might not be able to see it, but anyway. So I think for me, I'm going to interface both pieces, both collar pieces, because you cut two of the collar and you cut one of interfacing. I cut two of the collars and two of the interfaces. I'm going to interface both of them and call it a day. Okay. So I have the interfacing, the facing is next. Yeah. The pocket and the pocket band. I'm sorry, not the pocket, but the sleeve and the sleeve band. So So I've already folded my cuff or the band for the sleeve. So that's already done. I don't know how I missed interfacing the collar. And then I have my facings interfaced. So that's done. And so collar, the facing, and then and the sleeve. The collar, the sleeve, and the facing. And then there's the facing for the band. So I think I'm gonna do that, but I may not do my band as wide as it's cut out to be. I'm not sure yet, but I can serge that down if I need to. If I want to make it more narrow, I can serge that down. But I'll cut it out as is. All right. But anyway, thank y'all for rocking with me tonight. I'm gonna hop off because 8:42. Thank you for watching. And if y'all have any questions or comments, or please share pictures of your process of where you are with your top, even if it's just if you just cut it out. Share pictures of where you are along the process of making your KnowMe 2029. All right, I've seen Devious, so fabulous. I've seen hers, so make sure you share yours. All right, love y'all. Life. Talk to y'all soon.